Ladies and gentlemen, we talked about a previous podcast the early years of William Shatner, how his efforts in Stratford and in the U.S. Broadway stage and different jobs south of his home country of Canada really allowed him to break through. But what happened to William Shatner after Star Trek ended? We're going to talk about that a little bit, and it's kind of freaky. Although he returned to the Captain Kirk role in the animated series, the Emmy award-winning animated series in the mid-70s, which ran for 22 episodes over 2 seasons, it was kind of rough going for a while. Now, early 70s, in the immediate aftermath of the cancellation of Star Trek in 69, Shatner experienced difficulty in finding employment, having become somewhat typecast as the bombastic James Tiberius Kirk. He could have went to porn to do green chicks, but there was no green porn at the time. With very little money and few acting prospects, he lost his home and was for a time so poor that he's reduced to living in a truck bed camper in the San Fernando Valley, which is talked about where he was meeting fans while living in a van down by the river. And it's kind of interesting because he could have went back to Canada and made big money in the growing Canadian TV movie industry, but he didn't. He refers to this part of his life as that period, a humbling time during which he would take an odd job, including small party appearances, in order to support his family. Now, Shatner's film work in this phase of his career was limited to such B movies as Roger Corman's Big Bad Mama in 1974, the horror film The Devil's Rain in 75, the very underrated Kingdom of the Spiders in 77, and a myriad of other roles. He was also in the Riel miniseries in Canada. On television, he made a critically praised appearance as a prosecutor in a 71 PBS adaptation of Sal Levitt's play The Anderson Trial, and was also seen in major parts in movies The People and the horror of 37,000 Feet. He had a starring role, too, in the Western-themed secret agent series Barbary Coast during 75 and 76, and appeared as a guest of the week in many popular shows of that decade, including Columbo, Ironside, Kung Fu, Mission Impossible, The Rookies, and The $6 Million Man. And for some reason, ladies and gentlemen, he didn't appear in any of the airport movies. You would think Shatner as a mad bomber would be a typecast, but, it is what it is. Now, one of the special skills that Shatner was able to offer casting directors was an expertise in a martial art. He was taught American Kenpo karate by the black belt Tom Bleecker, who had in turn been trained by the founder of American Kenpo, Ed Parker. Now, to supplement his income from acting, he played himself as a celebrity guest in a multitude of TV game shows, among them Beat the Clock, Celebrity Bowling, The Hollywood Squares, Match Game, Tattletales, and Mike Stokey's Stump the Stars. His curriculum vitae in the genre included several visits to a $10,000 pyramid and its more generous sequels, shows in which contestants attempted to guess a word or phrase with the help of hints from a famous partner. Shatner's contribution to the Pyramid series included a week-long matchup that pitted him against Leonard Nimoy in an event called Kirk vs. Spock. In a 1977 episode, he perpetrated a blunder that has been preserved on YouTube. At the climax of the show, attempting to guide his partner to the phrase, "things that are blessed," he blurted out the word blessed instead of as he intended, citing the Virgin Mary. His mistake meant that the contestant paired with him was automatically disqualified for receiving what would have been a prize of $20,000. Shatner was so furious at himself for his error that he leapt out of his chair, picked it up, and threw it out of the show's iconic winner's circle. During an Archive of American TV interview, Richard Dawson disclosed that when Mark Goodson was considering whom to employ as a host of The Family Feud, he would have chosen Shatner if it had not been intimidated into awarding the position to Dawson from a threat from Dawson's agent. Basically said, if you don't give me Family Feud, I'll fuck up the match game. But Shatner, Dawson was kind of playing Richard Shatner because he was kissing everybody. Now, advertising agencies also played a part in helping Shatner through his post-Kirk doldrums. Among the TV commercials for which he was hired were spots promoting General Motors' Oldsmobile brand, Promise Margarine, which was parodied in a Saturday Night Live skit, the BC-based supermarket chain Super Value, and its Terry equivalent, Loblaws. Yes, William Shatner worked for the Westons. Canadian viewers became familiar with the former hero of Starfleet, reassuring them that at Loblaws, more than the price is right. But by gosh, the price is right. Now, after Star Trek was canceled, it acquired a cult following among people watching syndicated reruns of the series, and Captain Kirk became a cultural icon. I don't think it was getting much in syndication. Fans of the show, so-called Trekkies and Trekkers, began organizing conventions where they could meet like-minded enthusiasts, buy Star Trek merchandise, and enjoy question-and-answer sessions with the members of the show's regular and supporting cast. Many of the actors who had crewed the Enterprise became frequent guests at these events, Shatner included. Now, in the mid-70s, noting the growing appetite for Star Trek, Paramount began pre-producing the sequel show, Star Trek Phase 2, in which she planned to present new, younger actors alongside the stars of the original series. Of course, it didn't work out, but this led to the myriad of Star Trek sequels, and of course, T.J. Hooker. But his period after Star Trek was quite interesting, ladies and gentlemen, because no one can understand what might happen until it happens. And we're going to go over some of the roles he did after Star Trek. And if you can remember them, you're better than me, because I was wondering again why he didn't really show up to CBC and host his own shows on there, because that's where Leslie Nielsen got his start. That's where Lauren Green got his start. James Doohan, his co-worker with Star Trek, and it's kind of weird how it works, ladies and gentlemen, because you never know where you're going to end up. We know Leonard Nimoy showed up on Night Gallery as a director and actor. He showed up on Mission Impossible. Didn't like it very much, but it is what it is. So we're going to look at the different roles he was part of before Star Trek, and this, I have to include this one: The Kidnapping of the President in 1980, Disaster on the Coastline in 1979, of course the Riel movie, Crash, the original TV movie, Little Women, the miniseries, The Third Walker, The Bastard TV series, How the West Was Won, TV series 2 episode, of course the William Shatner music video for Rocket Man, The Oregon Trail, Land of No Return, Kingdom of the Spiders, Testimony of Two Men, the miniseries, Columbo for 1 episode, The 10th Level, A Whale of a Tale, Barbary Coast for 14 episodes, The Devil's Rain, a very underrated movie, you can find it, Perilous Voyages, The Lives of Benjamin Franklin, the miniseries, The Rookies, Police Woman, Amy Prentice, Police Story, Star Trek, the animated series, Police Surgeon, he played 2 episodes, Kodiak, Petrocelli, The Collaborators, Kung Fu. If you can find the episode, it's quite a performance, seeing Carradine and Shatner. Of course, Big Bad Mama, he on 4 episodes of Ironside, playing numerous characters, The $6 Million Man, The Very Underrated Magician, Impulse, Pray for the Wildcats, Indict and Convict, Pioneer Woman with Joanne Pettit, Mannix, The Horror at 37,000 Feet, Barnaby Jones, Go Ask Alice, Incident on Dark Street, The Bold Ones and New Doctors, Norman Corwin Presents, Marcus Welby, Owen Marshall, Counselor at Law, 2 episodes, Mission Impossible, 2 episodes, Hawaii Five-0, The Sixth Sense, The Hound of the Baskervilles, The People. Now, with The Sixth Sense, of course, it was in a Night Gallery package. A lot of people thought Shatner was on a Night Gallery. He wasn't. So The People, Cades County, Men at Law, Vanish, The Name of the Game, The FBI, Swing Out Sweetland, The Anderson Trial, Medical Center, Paris 7000, Soul Survivor. He was 2 episodes of Virginians, and of course Star Trek. And he was also in the movie The Skirts of Happy Chance. He was 1 episode of CBS Playhouse in '69, White Comanche, Off to See the Wizard, Insight, and Gunsmoke. And of course, let's not talk about Incubus. Movie crappy heavy. So William Shatner was always a working actor. Like any Canadian actor, he don't stop working. So he really didn't disappear after Star Trek. He just basically was in the reeds waiting for Roddenberry to go at everybody on the big screen. Is he being typecast as Kirk? No. But the thing is, has he been typecast as William Shatner? Yes. He's the best William Shatner actor out there. He is William Shatner. So there's other people that act like William Shatner, and you know who you are, Don Johnson, and people like that, like Don Johnson and different actors. The Shatner, I am the star and you're buying me, and people are in on their joke. William Shatner, if anything, I don't even consider him an actor. I consider him William Shatner. He's playing himself. So how can you be an actor if you're playing yourself? He will be the first 100-year-old actor in Hollywood that hasn't lost his mind. Besides, of course, that lady. Actually, come to think of it, Harold, the guy that used to be on St. Elsewhere, was he 100 when he was still acting? Possibly. But he'll be the first Canadian actor to be 100 years old and be an active actor. I think that's happening. So that's the story of William Shatner, post-Star Trek and pre-Star Trek, if that makes any sense. If you like what you're doing here with our Star Trek podcast, let us know with a like, comment, subscribe, or share.